I'm Paul. This is Tales of Swordfall. I run this game. I'm the DM. And unfortunately, our two players, Gats and Luke, couldn't make it tonight. Not that they were kicked off because their characters died, it's just scheduling problems, stuff like that. Ever the struggle to get everyone under, I guess it's not a roof, but, a digital roof together happens. Anyways, who is with me tonight?
Okay, I am Very Random Butterfly. I play Rayanne, and thankfully I didn't die, but pretty much everyone else did.
Hey, yeah, no kidding. You had like everyone drop dead in front of you. Oh, by the way, I'm Guy, that guy who can't sing. Currently snacking on straight honey.
Ooh.
And I play what is my Norik. I play Norik Valtsberg.
Yep, the other survivor.
But barely survivor.
Yeah. I mean, probably at this point you have no eyebrows or hair, but, you'll get over that.
It'll probably grow back, maybe.
I like to think anytime you take a health potion, like, whatever horrible, like burning off all your hair, like, your hair actually comes back after drinking it. Oh yeah, that was like the 4 health points there. Cool.
Yeah, got my hair back.
Got my hair back. So, anyways... Oh.
I was just saying hair.
Yeah, so... As we're mentioning, last session was a roller coaster of a ride. Horatio found himself in a jail cell, got attacked by a crazy woman who predicted that her friends were going to die. He escaped incarceration and labor, went into a forest that was spooky, and despite all the warnings that he got, he did some magic, unleashed a wild magic surge, and unfortunately, through a random table, it was a fireball spell, which killed Horatio and Lane, knocked out Norik, and by miracles, Rayanne was out of that 20-foot radius.
Oh, I'm the one that has to step up and take responsibility. I should be the reckless one.
Well, it's a growing experience.
Yes.
So we are right after you pile the bodies onto poor old Herbert, who was also caught in that. But, and
Thank him.
you have the corpse of Lane, who's burnt to probably beyond recognition. You have Horatio, who got burnt, but not as nearly as bad as Lane. And then you have, more than likely, the Nightmare Man that you guys fought and killed.
Yeah, that I pretty much just went to town on his head.
Yep.
Oh, yeah.
Would you still be carrying the head?
Oh, yeah. I would be like... I would just be furious.
So you go out of the forest, strolling into town, and there are concerned-looking villagers at the edge of the forest, and as if they heard all the commotion that was happening, because, well, fireballs are kind of loud and noticeable. So they're all armed with pitchforks and looking rather afraid. Austere raises his hand. It is okay, everyone. There was a slight mishap in the woods, but your problem is over. There is a sense of relief on all the faces of the villagers as they spread apart, making a path toward the town. And
Can I hold up the head of the monster just to kind of like show them, like, look?
Yeah, I mean, you can even do a performance check to see like how awesome you make it.
Okay, and I imagine my character be pretty just bloodied up from just like going to town and whatnot. So she looks scary. She looks
Oh yeah.
menacing.
Well, are you trying to intimidate them or trying to like make them go into awe?
I would say, one second. I would go more towards performance.
Okay, cool.
Yep. Would help if I pull up the character sheet.
Hey, but at least we're like already in roll 20 this time, so you rolled a 16. Hey, that's pretty good. Yeah, you hold it up. It's like at the end of the movie where the monster has died and the hero's going back into town, and I mean basically that's what you're doing. If it was a music, if there wasn't music, no, if it was a movie or a television show, this is where like the triumphant music would start and the credits would start rolling.
Bad music.
Yeah.
Bad theme for this. But
Yeah, it would be like, the bad 80s synth horns and
Or if it was Monty Python and the Holy Grail, this is where the cops would roll in and intervene.
yeah,
yes.
that too. Hooray, you defeated the beast. But that was my mother!
I can say that movie ended just perfectly on a what was that moment.
All right.
Alright.
Yeah, so Norik is he's kind of quiet right now. He's leading Herbert. Herbert has the bodies of the other group mates, the friends that did not make it. And is Herbert also carrying the rest of Mr. Nightmare Man?
Yeah.
Yeah. So it's just kind of there's a bunch of bodies there. Two that he's really sad about, and one that he's he doesn't care about too much actually.
Yeah. And Herbert herself has been looking rather sad. Like she understands the situation that had just gone on. Well, she also experienced it firsthand, so there's that. Actually, both of you, give me a intelligence saving throw.
Okay, one second.
Oof.
Wait. Intelligence. Ah.
Suspenseful. There you go.
Oof.
Oh. Yeah.
This one?
Excuse
I
me?
is dumb.
Yeah, neither of us are too good here.
It's not that you're dumb. So I had you guys roll intelligence to see if you could block out the event that just happened inside the forest. To see if you could think about anything else. You know how some people cope with tragedy where they're like, okay, I'm just gonna recite the ABCs backwards or whatever to keep from like thinking about what just happened.
No one died.
Yeah, unfortunately for both of you, the reality of this just keeps popping back. Every time you raise the head, there's a cheer, but every time you put it down, there's just that shot of Lane being burnt up in a fireball.
Oh, I'm gonna have PTSD probably for the rest of. Well, Rain is. For probably the most of the journey.
Yep.
And Norik, that's he has no idea what it looked like. He went down the same time as the others, and it was just a bright flash, and then that was it. And two friends were gone. And so Norik's just He's slumping along, just this gut feeling of just gut wrenching feeling, just so sad and distraught that he's trying to hold himself just up and keep walking.
Yep. And it's kind of a blur what happens next. Austere talks to the leader of the town. The leader of the town and him have a slight conversation. They take the body of the Nightmare Man off the mule, Herbert, and the villagers basically go onto town with their pitchforks and hoes and other farming equipment, and they basically start up a pyre and burn the corpse of the Nightmare Man. Time moves on, and before you know it, Herbert has somehow been hooked up to a wagon. There are 2 pine boxes in there, and you probably realize at that moment your friends are inside those boxes.
Oh, I have a feeling Ryan's just starting to break down seeing that.
And
Could I do like some kind of roll to see if she's going? I know this sounds obsessive, but if she's going to start breaking down after seeing that,
yeah, you
or
can either give me a wisdom saving roll to see your mental resilience, or a constitution roll to see your physical endurance.
okay, Constitution. There it is. Oh, okay.
Yeah, you are holding back the tears. Like, it is taking all your power to not show that you've been deeply shaken. So you're probably one of those people who, could just see someone explode in front of them, and despite your mind going, oh shit, your body's like, calm.
Oh,
Hey,
Yeah, Norik is he's pretty useless right now.
I mean, how about you roll the same thing? Let's see what you're doing.
Okay. Yeah, I could then Constitution save.
Yeah.
Yeah, he's pretty useless right now.
Now, you are probably crying without even meaning to.
Like,
patting Norik's head.
Norik got back into town, and he just handed Austere the reins to Herbert, and he slumped back to the inn and went back to the room he was staying in and just flopped on the bed, and it's just a crying, sobbing mess right there, just absolutely distraught.
Oh.
Then, after that time had passed and whatnot, and they did the whole burning of the body, and he's just laying there staring at the ceiling, contemplating, why did I do this? Why did I come out of hiding? I should have just stayed by myself. I shouldn't have gotten involved in all this. Just regretting everything he did.
Damn.
Oh.
And what is, like, since you're not physically shaken right in, what would your character be doing when all this, like, chaos and semi-celebration is happening within the town?
I'm sorry, but poor Norik. He's broken down. I'm worried more about him than the festival now. I'm just like, ah.
You could always check on him if you want.
Yeah, I'm checking on him. I'm sorry, but seeing how crushed he is, that just probably, like, I gotta do something. I've got to.
This is Rand coming into the room.
Yes.
Nork's just gonna keep laying there staring at the ceiling.
Huh. And I'm just silently walking because this is just hard.
Mm-hmm.
Probably not going to be too many words said. I'm just like, I don't know.
I mean, what would you do to cheer up Norik if your character thinks she can even cheer up Norik?
Oh. Ah. You know, maybe offer him a pint of something. It wouldn't help all the way, but, you know, hey, there's a celebration. If you'd like, I could give you a pint.
Nork's just gonna go,
So, sorry, this is harder than I thought.
Yeah. So do you leave the room and leave Norik to his?
Yeah.
hmm.
Yes, this is awkward. I don't know what to do.
So, oh no, don't worry. I mean, if this was real life and you guys were interacting, and somebody was that like crushed, it probably would play out the same. I mean,
Yeah.
so you leave Norik's room, you go back into the main part of the inn, the tavern area, and the mayor of town comes to you. And he gives you like this smile. He's pretty happy about, the outcome of this,
Mm-hmm.
and comes up to you. Well, hail! I'm glad you made it back. Austere was filled me into the details. I grieve greatly for your two friends, but as ordered, we put them in the box. The local cleric is making sure that they will be preserved for several days so they can get back to their towns and villages where they once came. And everyone in the town has collected a little gold for both you and your friend for helping us out of the, well, I can't say kindness of our hearts, but for at least trying to combat what evil was lurking in our forest.
It's appreciated. Thank you.
And he hands you a bag of gold, and it has 10 pieces of gold in it. It's was intended for you to split this amongst your group, but seeing that there's only two of you left, well, I'm pretty sure you know what to do and how to split that.
Right. Thank you.
Yes, and oh yes, Steer was looking for you. He's somewhere uh in the town. I think he was near the forest again, looking out, or in the stalls looking after your mule. You'll find him either place, I think.
All right. Thanks.
And the mayor goes back to bartending because he's also the bartender and owner of the inn.
Ah.
And he just kind of goes back. You hear the clinking glasses and people singing like little song, and everyone's pretty cheerful. It just seems a little surreal that like there isn't a like funeral pageantry or something going on for your friends.
Mhm.
Can I ask a question here?
Sure.
Does this tavern have an indoor bathroom, or does it have a outhouse?
It more than likely has an outhouse in the back.
Alright, well, Nark's gonna. Are the rooms upstairs? We got.
Um, I
Or is it just another
mentioned
party?
that all these buildings were one story, so
Okay.
they're all on the same floor.
Well, Nark's gonna come out of his room and down the hallway and walk right through the whole bar area where all the festivity is going on. He's just slumped over and just makes his way through and straight out to the outhouse.
And those damn bastards keep cheering at you and congratulating you.
Yep. And Nark's he's gonna go out to the outhouse, take care of business. And he comes walking back through this crowd of people.
Yeah.
And they continue to
Oh yeah, they continue to cheer. I mean, this is a happy time for them. Whatever was trying to lure all the young women in town has stopped. You have defeated it. You are the victor. Of course, they think you should be happy.
And what kind of is there people just, are they coming close? Are they patting Norik on the back, or
No, they probably just raised their glasses at you,
okay.
and you know,
Okay.
they aren't really like on friendly terms. You're kind of a stranger, so it's more like, you know, they're giving you smiles and laughs and raising of cups, and you know, there's probably a song like mentioning both you and Rayanne slaying the beast or something, and you know, if you were in a way better mood, this probably would be amazing.
Yeah. Oh. Norik's gonna walk back over towards his room, and as he enters his room, he's just gonna peer out the doorway, assuming he can see. Anyway, when he leaves that area, he's gonna just peer back at everybody with this nasty scowl on his face, and then disappear into his room again.
Damn. So, Ryan, are you looking for austere?
Yes, I'm looking for a stair. I don't think there's really much anything else I could do. It's
Yeah.
probably best if I keep my mind busy.
So you do find him in the stables, which is like the building right next to the inn. And he's there making sure the wagon is secured to Herbert. Once again, you see those pine boxes neatly shoved into the wagon. So Herbert has a wagon now. Yay!
Oh, at what cost?
And he looks over. He nods at you. He doesn't really say anything. He kind of notices that even though your demeanor is like ultra calm, you swear he can see your thoughts.
Well, you were asking for me?
Yeah, so I was hoping to get Norik as well. But
This is really hitting him hard.
yes, it's a little strange that a few days ago you were just strangers and you've grown this bond so quickly. Anyways, I have a plan because I don't want to hire anyone else, and I promised the college I would keep them alive, and I care. You can tell the last part's kind of a lie.
Yeah. I'm not buying it, but, you know, that's just me talking.
Yeah.
Not Ryan.
And so, we're going to make a trip. Unfortunately, it will delay us longer to where I need to be going, but if it saves us the whole day and a half trip to go back to Swordfall and find someone else, it will be worth it.
What exactly are you talking about?
Well, as the head of the Magic College, I know many things. I also know that death isn't permanent. And
So you think there's a way to fix all this? I'm just probably quivering a little.
It gives you a dry smile. So, how much do you know about magic?
A fair amount, but not too much, I'd say.
Yes, well, there are certain spells out there which can get someone out of the grasp of death. There are spells out there which could fully bring you back, and others which just allow you a little bit more time. Where we're
The important question is, what's the cost of them?
I can't speak of the cost right now. It's always a little different, especially from the ones that we're gonna ask.
Hmm.
Since I'm out on business, and this would be a little embarrassing to admit in front of a committee that I've lost 2 paid mercenaries. I'm trying to keep this out of the Magic College's eye, so I will warn you this. And when Norik feels like talking, you can also tell him this. Where we're going is as dangerous as that part of the woods you visited, but not in the way of magic wild surges. Just be careful what you say, and be careful what type of deal you make.
Got it.
He nods. I would enjoy the festivities while you can. We're going to leave in a few hours.
Alright, thanks.
So he lets you leave. He pats Herbert on the head. He actually looks, pretty friendly toward Herbert, which is a little weird.
Mm-hmm. Me talking, I have my suspicions on this guy. I don't trust him.
You can always do an insight check to see what he's about. 19. You can tell he's being sincere about wanting to keep this away from the Magic College. You can tell he's uncomfortable with telling them anything about this little adventure of his. Especially with the part where people have died on his behalf. So that part is legit. When he said he truly cares, not so much.
Yeah.
It seems like he's more doing this out of his own reputation and pride than anything else.
Okay, I am noting that for myself. Don't say a thing, don't make a deal, done.
Okay. So does Norik just stay in a despondent, kind of unattached state for a while?
Yeah, I think I think at this point, Norik just kind of eventually ends up falling asleep there, and yeah, that's it.
Yeah.
I probably drink myself. I'm just like, okay, well, nothing else to do.
Yep. So we're going to consider this a long rest. So whatever hit points you have are going to come back. Any spell slots used, which I don't think you guys used any, come back. Your key points come back, etc., etc.
Oh,
You know what?
I have key points to replenish. That's right.
I do need to get a healer's kit.
So how does hit point regeneration work now?
So with a long rest, you just get everything up to your maximum HP.
Okay. So,
this is the simple one. So just for those. Oh.
Okay. Just never mind.
Okay.
You continue.
Yeah, I was just gonna say, just for those who are listening, If this were a short rest, they would get to use dice out of their dice pool for oh, what is it called? I had this explanation up, but so if they were to do a short rest, they have a certain amount of dice they can use called hit dice to actually use to heal themselves. For every class, it's a little different. For example, if Horatio is still alive and well, since he's a level 2 bard, he has 2 hit dice to use, and they are 1d8. I believe, if I can remember this off the top of my head, fighters and barbarians have 1d10. I think sorcerers have 1d6s for their hit dice. Monks, I think it's also a 1d8. All this stuff can actually be found in the player's handbook if you bother to look it up. Anyways, yeah, so you guys have your long rest. Everything's hunky-dory. And it's getting to be nighttime. And where would Rayanne be at the moment after she drinks a lot?
It probably crashes in bed.
Also give me a Constitution saving roll.
Okay. See if I'm probably really drunk.
Mm-hmm. Now, like, you handle your alcohol like a dwarf. And if anybody
This
mentions
is
that,
her ratio.
yeah. And so you hear a knock at your door, Brienne.
Go away. Okay, I'm up.
Go away now. I'm up. A kid opens your door, looks at you. He gives you a little smile. Excuse me. The Mr. Scary Eye Patch Man has sent me here to tell that he is ready to leave.
Oh, thank you.
Yeah, welcome. And he holds out his hand for basically a tip.
All right, what would be a reasonable tip?
For a kid who's probably the owner's son, like a copper.
Okay, I'll give him. You know what? I'll be nice. 2 copper pieces.
He looks super happy that you gave him some copper.
Aw,
And he thanks you. Thank
I
you.
just pat him. No problem.
And he says to get your friend. And he smiles and leaves.
Will do. Thanks.
So, you're in the room alone again. Yay!
Yeah. Okay, I go to Norik and I basically say, Norik, get your butt up now. No.
Yeah, Nor's gonna kind of crack his eyes up. He's gonna pull the covers back over him.
I just bang on the door. Come on. You don't want me to splash water on you, do you?
Nor's just gonna shout, "Go away!"
Okay, you warned me. Well, I warned you. Can I... Okay, I get water.
Okay,
Get
yeah.
as cold water as I could possibly get.
Yeah, they probably draw it from a well, and it's, less than body temperature, so it feels cool to the touch.
Okay, so I get that. I go back to his room, and I just pour it right over him.
Ah! Nor's gonna jump up and be like, "What was that?
I warned you.
What's this?"
I told you to get up. You didn't get
Why?
up, so...
Is it austere? Is he made you come do this?
I did the splashing part, but Austere was the one who Well, technically woke me up.
Oh, what now?
Okay. So, this is heavy. So there may or may not be a slightly sketchy way to bring back some of our members.
Mark's rubbing the sleep out of his eyes, rubbing his hands over his face, and when she says this, he kind of stops and hand still on his face, and he just looks over at Ran and drops his arms to his side and says, "What?"
There may or may not be a slightly sketchy way to bring back everyone. And there's a place we need to go to in order to do that.
Sounds like sounds dangerous.
It is, and he warned me 2 things. Careful what you say, and careful who you make deals with. That's what's making me nervous.